What's up, everybody? This is Blake and Levi. We are the Turn 2 commentators coming at you with another podcast for this week. Texas recap. Levi, how's your week been?
Pretty good. A lot of big sports news, a lot of big sports stories, but it's been a good start to the week.
Yeah. Well, it's hump day now. Week's almost over.
Yeah, fair point.
Well, what'd you think of Texas?
I give it a 9 out of 10 for me. I've always liked Texas. A lot of people don't like it. I've always liked the way it.
You somehow went on mute.
My only gripe with it is not being able to access more lanes, especially going into turns 1 and 2. But that's not even a big issue for me because every track has a flaw in it. To me, Texas race is better than Bristol and Martinsville. To me personally, because I will look forward more to Texas than Bristol, Martinsville, based on the way it races. Actually, Martinsville is in my bottom 5 races to physically watch.
Well, let's be honest.
Historically, it's different, but
the short track package is trash right now.
I like it at Richmond. I don't even know if they even run a short track package at Richmond, but with the fact that Richmond, Bristol, and Martinsville, those tracks were in play for the finale going forward, so I don't mind that.
Well, hopefully they change it up a little bit. The overall weekend was pretty good. Truck race was good, Xfinity race was good, and Cup race, it had everything you wanted. Natural cautions, comers and goers, strategy. People complaining about the race. I don't know what else they want.
Fair point.
Yeah, maybe the fastest car didn't win of the day, but it happens.
Yeah, in a lot of racing series, the fastest car doesn't win.
Right.
Reason I didn't give it a perfect 10 is in reference to another sport, similar but another sport. As far as I'm not a big fan of pre-race in today's age, pre-race or I don't mind post-race, but pre-race I don't. It doesn't really do it for me for NASCAR. But as far as the racing package, I don't know what else you want, because to one person, a perfect race can be completely different versus the other person.
Yeah. Start of the race, Carson Hocevar was gone. He got out to a 2-3 second lead, and I was like, dang, might be the day. Well, that quickly disappeared. Strategy caught up with him. The other teams were doing different stuff, and he got trapped a lap down.
When I saw him get out to the 2 to 3 second lead, I thought he was going to finish in a 28th or worse. I never really have, besides like 5 cars, I never really have high hopes for whoever starts first. I don't care if you lead the first 300 laps or however many laps is 80% of a race. I just don't have that much faith in a track like that. And if you have tire wear and speed, because I know it's not going to be the same the whole race, because you're going to be marred back there in traffic.
Oh, yeah. And then, God, that treacherous turn 4, he claimed a lot of victims.
Yeah, that's actually my favorite part of the track. I hope people are talking about shaving it down. I don't want them to shave it down.
Like Dale Jr. said, do not touch it. Don't do anything.
No.
He's like, it's perfect. It's starting to wear out. Next year could be a totally different race with like better tire wear. We don't know.
Only thing I wish that, one of the things I wish we can add to Texas is keeping all the bumps, but being able to, one, I guess, run the high side there, because you should be able to run the high side, and it should be, I guess, no middle lane so you can avoid the bump. That's what I want to see. Almost similar to Homestead, but I think if Texas, you're able to ride the hot side, I think you actually drive better than Homestead to me. But
Which is
it's little
what's
tweaks.
crazy though, because that high side's really up there.
Yeah.
I'd like to see somebody attempt it and just see what happens.
Oh wow! Wow! I just saw some news. I can't say what I want to say, but salute to him for a good career. Salute to him. But dang, he retired. Wow.
Who retired?
Cam Rising, medically.
Oh, that's your boy.
Now he's the last player that is born prior to 2000 that can be drafted. Now, unless someone leaves their 9 to 5 to get drafted.
Yeah.
So everyone drafted now can be the year 2000. You feel old yet?
Yeah, a little bit.
But yeah, the race is okay. I can't complain about the commentary because I would complain a lot about the commentary, just a little tweaks because like F1, IndyCar, NBA, NASCAR changes their commentary team throughout the season. So you eventually get what you want because I'm assuming you prefer the second half of the season versus the first half as far as commentating.
Yeah. The Fox is so hit or miss. Like 1 week they're just dry and boring, and like the Talladega race, they're just like, all right, Austin Cindric wins. Like,
yeah, I mean, it's kind
you
of
got to
hard.
sell the product. Like, yes, it was a boring Talladega race, but you got to sell it.
That's why just look at, for example, look at the Monaco race and look at how they sell it. And we know how the Monaco race goes. The announcers,
Dude, it don't matter.
that's
It's
what,
Monaco. It's Monaco. You
and
don't got to
that's why.
sell it.
And look at IndyCar, they took F1's top second best commentator, and everyone's raving about the commentary team with them. And I'll take one shot at NASCAR because I brought it up earlier. The best pre-race thing to me, in my opinion, I've ever seen for a racing series was what F1 did this past weekend. Easily, you had I forgot the name of the company. Each car had over 8 million Legos, Lego powered cars.
I saw that, and they were driving around the track.
And just to do that, now you can probably, I don't know if you agree with me or not, but if NASCAR gave that option to NASCAR, to the drivers say, oh no, that's going to take away for our pre-race preparation.
Right.
You can both agree that the preparation that goes into F1 cars, we talk about DNF and NASCAR. If your wing is slightly bent, oh well, Brandon Carter garage retired the race. That's what NASCAR is just missing. Because honestly, if you had all of the, let's say, put all the personalities in the 80s, 70s, 80s, and 90s into NASCAR today, it can be the short track package of every single race. People will watch it. Just like when the viewership came out. Technically, NASCAR beat F1
in U.S. viewership. Which I know, I'm sure worldwide crushed it because F1's a global sport.
But F1 more than doubled the viewership with 18 to 49-year-olds versus NASCAR this weekend. So that's why I told you from the jump. I don't know if you saw the guy who, quote unquote, the senior scheduling director of NASCAR. He has to be our age. And he's the one that alluded to the short tracks being involved in saying, I guarantee, never say never, that the restrictor plate races will be involved. But he said it's not going to be the final race. I want to know who is the director of marketing, creativity. When's the last time you saw some in NASCAR be creative? Besides what they offer to the driver, Denny Hamlin still thinks it's going to cost access to millions to put the car out there. Hold on. Who says you have to build a separate car for the All-Star race and do all this extra stuff? Just brand the cars you got. Who says you have to do that?
I know we're obviously later in the week now, so everybody's podcast has come out. So all these people, Kyle Busch last week was talking, they said we could do the engines, and other people have said, "Oh, we could do this and this and this." Well, NASCAR came out and said, "Oh, we didn't say none of that. You could just probably take the underbody off, and that's about it." So then, why was everybody saying, "Oh, run what you brung," if you really couldn't do anything?
I really feel like there needs to be a drivers union in NASCAR. It needs to be a middleman because it's like an old bitter couple fighting with each other, and one's not bending for the other. That's why I think the 2311 slash front row law suit is very important for NASCAR.
Yeah,
That's
sorry,
what I mean. But as far as the race,
giving somebody some advice.
yeah, it needs to be. It's like you and your wife, both of you being prideful. Like, I don't want to eat Oreo ice cream, but she wants to eat vanilla ice cream. That's why you got a little one that soon can be the deciding factor. NASCAR is like, I'm not bending the knee for nothing.
Yeah,
Just like what we were talking about this past weekend, where Elton Sawyer said, "What's wrong with NASCAR? The viewership is up. I mean, what more do you want?" No. Be honest.
Well,
you can't pull the hat over the
yeah.
fans.
Just like not to bring politics into this, but all them old people that just randomly have a seat in the Senate or whatever that just are 80 years old, pushing, their last breath.
Yeah, the old people in NASCAR, like I don't have an issue with people in any faculty just being old. But with being old, you have to be able to cognitively
Mm-hmm.
do your job. You can't just be, oh, well, he's been a senior VP for NASCAR for since 1949 since it started. Can he effectively do his job?
No.
You don't have to move with the trends for everything, but you got to be able to adapt because forget the outside trends. Do you think today's drivers are doing the same thing in their daily life as the drivers in the mid 60s?
No.
It's a completely different world.
Just
Of course, well,
just go turn on.
They were working on the
turn
cars
on,
back then. Okay,
exactly.
now everyone it's like someone said, it is spec cars.
Go turn on Netflix right now. The new whatever full speed, whatever the new season's up for last year's playoffs. We watched the first episode earlier. They're hanging out at the house, driving their cars. They followed Joey Logano around. That man was on the lake, like just hanging out.
Yeah, it's just different things. You just gotta have. Honestly, you gotta have Anthony Edwards. It gotta be Anthony Edwards' personality now. So it could be someone not doing.
And and what's crazy, and I know we always talk about personalities or some way to push the envelope. I don't even know if you really can anymore because it's so sponsor driven. Sponsors don't want to be associated with the bad guy.
As soon as you get the car, to thank the team and all that, it's almost like you're at Academy Awards. Have some type of person. Stop caring about what everyone thinks. If I'm coming into a sponsor, I'm assuming that just because they're giving me money, I know NASCAR is a money driven sport, but I have to align with the sponsor. Let's say this.
Yeah.
Let's say you have some financial backing with a team. And what's a sponsor that, in my opinion, you can correct me if I'm wrong, that doesn't fit you? Let's say, what's a sponsor that if they can't even want to sponsor you full time, they just, I don't want to be sponsored by that. Which one is but opposite of your personality? Like if I saw you with the fire suit on, like,
there you go. I'll try to think.
Extends.
There we go.
Extends or
Blue Chew.
I'm like, did you sit down with your wife and talk about that?
You know what's crazy now that you bring that up? I'm surprised Blue Chew hasn't tried to get into the sport.
Yeah. Okay, if they did get in the sport, who you think would be? We don't go after him.
It's got to be. For some reason, I can see Noah Gragson having that sponsor.
No, because I would try to pull at this certain fan group of NASCAR. I will honestly go at
Brad K.
No, I feel like he's
too old.
No, I feel like he'll be like a Farmers Only. guy. Ryan Blaney. Pull out what the women like. Just
There you go.
someone of a personality. Just a little bit. Like
Yeah.
Hooters went to Chase Elliott. When those camera promos cut off and all that, what do you think Chase Elliott and the Hooters girls are talking about?
I gotta go home.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Have a good day. I gotta go home.
You guys have to wear that all day long? Oh, that's neat. Nah, man, come on. Just a little bit, a tiny bit of personality. I don't give an F personality. You don't have that anymore. Let's see. What do you think the past generation liked about the driver? Because they align with them. That's what it is. Certain things.
That it was that working blue collar mentality of we came from the mud and we got this, and now here we are racing for millions of dollars and we work our ass off.
I'm gonna somehow tie this word.
I'm sure guys are still doing that, but you don't really hear about it.
I'm gonna somehow tie this word into this argument. NASCAR needs diversity and personality. It's nothing wrong with people going fishing, but see, 38 driver, all 38 drivers, all they do is fish. I need something else,
like
just a little bit.
You know, it's funny. I was thinking about this. So let's just give it, for example, number 3 car back here, Bass Pro Shops on the side. What was Dale Earnhardt's life? Literally outdoorsman.
His tractor.
He
just doing something in his yard.
He was the outdoorsman.
What was Dale Earnhardt Senior's outfit outside of the track?
Like jeans and a t-shirt or something, and a hat.
Tucked in.
Does Austin Dillon fit that? No. Does Austin Dillon do that? Probably not.
No. Austin Dillon, you see your agreement that he does do that, but Austin Dillon reminds me of that show you were telling me they lived in South Missouri. They had farms, but they weren't farmers, if you know what it's a family show.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It was Skylar made me watch this farmer show. It was like a reality show of Yellowstone.
Austin Dillon is like the guy who drives a lifted truck with I'm about to sound like I don't know what I'm talking about, but what is it? The hard part trucks with like that $80,000 suspension where like you can't even take that off road.
Oh, and it's lifted. Yeah, you're talking about a pavement princess or a mall crawler.
A mall. I leave the mall crawlers for the squatted trucks because I seen 3 squatted trucks today that they look pretty.
You know, down here, I think it got passed. It's illegal in Georgia now.
It's illegal up here too, but I see them every day.
Yeah, I was gonna say I still see them every day.
Oh yeah, because to me, if I'm a cop, we just got off track like DC and Uncle Chell, but if it looks nice, like the question I asked you the other day, what's the beat up car? Give me a beat up car, a 1978 Pinto with hubcaps.
I'm not even going there. I was gonna go like a Ford Taurus, that round body Ford Taurus from the early 2000s.
Okay, the round body. My mother had one though. The round body Ford Taurus
with the big bug eye headlights.
The big bug eye with like limo tint, hubcaps, and like the tint that's peeling off, but it's illegal tint. Are you pulling that over, or are you pulling over 2025 CTSV with limo tint?
No.
You're going to pull over the beater one because one, I can get them on something else.
I see it every day in Atlanta. You see the piece of crap cars pulled over by State Patrol every day.
The segue, I'm coming to Georgia, so I'm going to be able to have out-of-state tax for a year. So I'm going to look like a visitor every day.
There you go.
But honestly, despite what people think, Joe Logano has a personality outside the track because he's always doing other things. And plus, he does look like the guy who says, "My dad is the Lord," and I'm assuming he does that little laugh. I tried to practice that in the mirror, and I think I almost hurt myself. I can't even do it. But, like, it's okay. But the race itself, to get back on track, going into the last stage, I was really, to what Larry McReynolds was saying, the two-tire strategy worked all day long if it wasn't a caution because the playing field would even out. And I thought he was going to do it, but then Joe Logano started to get in. Mike McDowell kept missing the exits and corner because he was driving in the mirror looking back like, oh no,
he was overdriving it. He was overdriving it. He knew he had to go. But let's just back up a little bit.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, last thing, NASCAR has another problem it needs to fix. Yes, when I watch F1, depending on the track, I may be doing other things in the middle of the race, but it happens too often in NASCAR. I honestly feel like the laps should be a little bit slower because are you sitting down on the couch to watch 500 laps at Martinsville and not doing anything else? No phone, no nothing.
Unless I'm like truly by myself. But it's funny you say that.
Had lapped everyone.
The last couple weeks, I have found myself doing other things, but I'll put it on my phone and I'm still like listening, but I'm not really watching. Because even though it's like Texas was a good race, I just haven't been entertained.
Do you think you would be more entertained if there were no stages?
I don't know, because I feel like maybe because we'd see some strategy. I feel like sometimes when we have the stages, we don't really get to see the tire fall off.
Honestly, with the stages, like in that trash game Heat, it's like, dang, I want to see green flags. Oh, because look, what strategy can I do if you used to ask me, why did you pit on lap 3? So I can get off your strategy. Because if I pit and you pit and we do the same thing on pit road and we're back in the top 5, it's going to be the same thing. I want to see someone that, let's say Mike McDowell had a 5-second lead. Oh, he's coming down pit road early. What's that going to do? Some variation. Like if they would have had a list, like F1 has a thing where they come out what tracks get sprint races. If NASCAR said, look, shaking up in the hat, all right, these 15 races get sprint stages. And I don't want the teams to know going into the season so they can prepare. If let's say Phoenix was the first race of the season and Joe Logano, anyone in Penske won, that car is locked up in the cage and he's just building it for the next
exactly.
We're going to eventually get there.
Oh, just like, look, Joe Logano won. Guess what they're about to be doing? They don't care about the rest of the season.
Yeah, they're good.
They're good. They're going to get a couple wins in the playoffs. As long as he makes that round to 8, he's going to win Martinsville or whatever. He's good.
Like I said, what's the best team in the Cup Series right now?
It's Penske, man. They're Penske.
3 years in a row.
That's back-to-back wins for them, by the way.
Hint.
And what did I say last week? Austin Cindric is always the first one to win, and then Penske hits a roll.
Exactly. I mean, everyone talks about HMS and like, oh, they're gonna win. Oh, hey, look, you can have. Honestly, it looks like HMS is James Harden. You can have all these regular season stats and wins. Oh, Kyle Larson is. If he was able to make that race, he only missed about 1 point. He won the championship the last 3 years. And when's the last time Kyle Larson won a championship?
2021.
They're making, honestly, if he don't win it this year, Kyle Larson is Joe Burrow. Man, but he won that championship. But just look the way he threw that ball 4 weeks ago.
But don't you think Chase Elliott's Joe Burrow right now?
No.
Is Chase Elliott a one and done?
No, I don't think so. I think because he's talented, he's just consistent.
Is he still the best road course racer?
Well, in the last gen, he is. Because I don't think it transferred because it's two completely different cars.
Have you seen? Hang on. I got. I'm getting blown up on the phone right
now. Hey, bud, can you come in tomorrow?
No, it was Roger. The new Prime commercial, not the Prime drink, but the Amazon Prime NASCAR commercial. Have you seen it?
Oh, yeah, I've seen it. How can I not see it?
It's Dale Jr. and Letarte.
Did they have Dale Jr. go do some strenuous activity before this, and then said we want that high pitched voice like you've been running for 6 years in a row?
But it was a good commercial.
They should have got Jeff Burton to do it too.
I just think it's funny how when they said Oh, and we got road courses, and then it pans to Chase Elliott. Did someone say road courses? I'm like,
I think they did that because you can't put SVG for American audience. You can't put. He's not even racing anymore.
but
Can't put Kyle
with
Larson because anyone who don't watch NASCAR, you put Chase Elliott. Oh, I know who that is.
Sorry,
What were you gonna say?
No, I was gonna say, but every NASCAR fan knows who SVG is.
No, I'm talking about the fans who aren't NASCAR fans, but they know about NASCAR and they see it. Like, for example, who's more known, Kyle Larson or Chase Elliott?
Chase
You
Elliott.
asking a random person, you go to the grocery store.
They gonna say Chase Elliott.
I think that's why for marketing ability. Because then, if Chase Elliott wasn't in that spot and he talked about world courses, NASCAR get a bunch of email. Why are you putting him? Chase Elliott can go 15 years winless. Why did you put Chase Elliott there? I love Chase Elliott. That's marketing ability, but
yeah, no, I get it. I just thought it was funny. I'm like, this man hadn't won a road course in years.
Yeah, I don't really see too many drivers talking about the difference between the last gen car and this car. If you ask me, I don't care what package this car does now. I despise the last generation car in every aspect.
Yeah.
Because that's when I wasn't watching NASCAR. I'll take the car tomorrow before last gen's car.
But you know what's crazy about that car? It had good short track in Talladega and Daytona. It was great at that. But it wasn't mile and a halfs, and that is what led to the change. Now we have good mile and a halfs, shitty road or shitty short tracks, and Daytona and Talladega are boring. Atlanta's the only one that's saving that for the drafting tracks.
Exactly. I think it's a saving. I think teams are too smart too. And saving
for
fuel.
Sure. They got so many engineers on these cars.
I think it should be a smaller. And you know what? I'm not even gonna blame the engineer, which is crazy. You have all of these engineers, but what's the difference between NASCAR now, like the current NASCAR as we sit today, and what did you call those series? The multi-class series. We got the Porsche, you got the GT, LMP cars.
Oh, you're talking about IMSA?
Take IMSA, but take one class of IMSA. What's the difference between one single class of IMSA and this car? You can't do anything. You can't do anything. You can't. Why do you think? What's his name left? Spire, where there's a mutual partner of contract.
Yeah.
What? Because you can't. What's crazy is you getting a generation that grew up building cars.
Are you talking about Rodney Childers?
Yeah.
I have a segue just real quick. I don't know if you've noticed this, but every spot, Carson Hocevar, Michael McDowell, I've noticed it a lot with them because they seem to qualify high. They thank Mr. H before they thank Spire. Just throwing that out there.
It's crazy.
Because Michael McDowell said it like twice. He's like, I just want to thank Mr. H and Hendrick Motorsports for this opportunity. He's like, and then he said, also, I want to thank Spire.
It's crazy because I want to know. I know it's Hendrick Engines, but knowing that Spire, besides the Clippers owner, is the second richest team, like as far as money in the world, but it's Mr. H. So I want to know, like, for that team, for all the people involved, to have all of that money. Not to be. I know it's
Hendrick Motorsports engines for sure,
but I do know that half of the people that own Spire are putting more of their effort into the F1 team. That's for next year. So I don't know if they said, well, it will be our team, but it will be ran through Hendrick. Because you know what Spire is? Spire to me right now is Williams to Mercedes. Right. Yes, they're a separate team, but it's Mercedes. Yes, it's Hendrick.
Is Chad now still at Spire? Is Chad now still there?
Chad Knaus?
Yeah.
When did he leave? He's like third in charge of
Dude,
Hendrick.
I
He left
swear,
that
like
job.
2 years ago, he was doing competition meetings at Spire. I saw videos of it.
Oh no, I think he's still at Hendrick, but he was
But does he
consulting
run
over.
Spire? Is he helping run Spire?
Probably, but because I haven't seen anything. Besides Jeff Gordon, he's the next in charge.
I'm gonna have to look that up. I swear I saw like he did like a whole competition meeting with everybody. This was before
He
Carson
could be
hosted
running the
our.
competitions committee over there though. Since it's directly with him, he could be the head man in charge there, but still hold his position at Hendrick. Because I still see him on his Hendrick sidelines, Hendrick garages.
I'm looking.
Where we going next week?
Kansas. We ain't in Kansas no more.
Kansas to me is a top 15 track for me. As far as the track,
It's-
race is in the top 8 for me.
It's the best mile and a half outside of Atlanta. It's the best mile and a half.
I don't think it's the best mile and a half.
Then who do you think is the best mile and a half?
I think
Okay, cookie cutter, tri-oval.
well, no, because
Kansas is the best.
I have Kansas third because I have Las Vegas at night. Okay, Las Vegas at night, I have ahead of Kansas. Day Kansas I have last because I prefer night Kansas. But I mean, as far as but the one thing I give Kansas, that's a one track. You know what you're going to get every single time. You're going to get comers and goers. You're going to get that 5-6 second lead. You're going to get everything you want. Kansas doesn't change whatsoever. Now, if I told you 5 years ago, 10 years ago that Kansas was going to be, as far as TV product, top 5 race, what would you tell me?
I'd be like, nah, I don't believe you.
To you, if you were ahead of what track race is the best? Like pre-race, forget history. Pre-race, mid-race, commentating, comers and goers, strategy, the entire package of their race weekend, and then the other series. What would you recommend someone to watch all of that if they never watched NASCAR in today's age? Not just the track, just everything about the whole race weekend for all 3 series. What do you think? You say that would bring in the best buck.
Best track?
Best track for everything outside the track, the race, just the energy, all of it. But forget history.
Is the race included on being a good product?
Yeah, like as the perfect race weekend track with everything.
See, the good race weekends usually now
bring boring races.
Are the boring races. Daytona, Talladega, Bristol.
Like to me, Pocono race is better than what the first Bristol race doesn't race as good as Pocono to me.
Yeah. I mean, Atlanta's a good one. And I mean, I've experienced Bristol weekend, a Talladega weekend, and Atlanta weekend. The Talladega weekend is by far the best, but it's the on-track product for Sunday that kind of kills it.
Do you think also, think of it like this, like an NBA, the 13th NBA game on the schedule, when you got the Pelicans facing the Charlotte Hornets. You ain't really paying for nothing, just another game, probably got a losing record. Now look at the Daytona race, the cutoff race, and let's say the points are all close, 50, it's like 10th can miss, and then 25th can make it, or anyone can make it. And think of Daytona 500. Which race is actually better? Just strictly
I've always, just me, I mean, this might be just me, but I've always I've wanted to go to the Daytona night race over the 500. 500, that's its separate
historical
thing,
significance, yeah.
But I would much rather go to the Saturday night Daytona race.
And honestly, this thing can kind of bleed into college football as well, what I'm about to say. Let's say, what time the Falcons are normally on at 1 o'clock?
Yeah.
1 o'clock game. Okay, it's fine. I mean, if you like NFL. But if I'm talking about energy, think of like this next race, Kansas, I think 1:30 p.m. whatever, Sunday. Forget the race. Forget what you do on Sunday. What is the first thing you're thinking about on Sunday when you get up? I gotta go to work tomorrow.
That's like, dang.
When you're waking up on Saturday morning, what is the thought in your mind? You're like, oh man, I got the whole day off. I can stay up late.
I got that.
Whatever we want.
It's especially during. I mean, if it's football season. Oh man, 3:30 SEC.
Or if Georgia playing at 7:30, it's a big game. I don't have to get up early. But now, by the time the NASCAR race is over, you're like, dang, do I need to do anything to get prepped for work tomorrow?
Yeah. When the race ends on Sunday, that's when I know my weekend has come to an end, and I got to get back to reality.
And I'm gonna tie something you said earlier about Talladega. Do you think the Boulevard is the same at 6:30 p.m. on Sunday for most people, or do you think it's better I'd say after the race at 6:30 on Saturday?
Oh, there probably ain't much people left on a Sunday night.
So what have I been screeching and crawling for? More night races.
That's what they need to do, man.
More night races.
I mean, what about? I mean, remember in COVID, we were getting weekday night races.
It's like, and I'm okay. Would you say that most Southerners that watch NASCAR more times than not go to church or practice in a religion?
Yes.
So does NASCAR proclaim that it's a family sport?
They do. Supposedly.
So if that's the case, I remember watching Mendel Sr. and Dale Jr. say we go to church twice a year during the season. Well, how can they go to church? You can move it up. Move it up.
You know, it's funny you say this because I was actually talking about this with somebody at work this week. Back in the day, and when I was a kid, I remember you'd go to church. We'd go to church, go to lunch, and we'd be back at 1:30. We'd be back before 2:00, and the race was starting. We didn't have no 3:30, 4:00, and you still had time. Well, after the race was done, you still had time to. Oh, hey, I can go run out and cut grass real quick, or let me cook. Oh, I can cook a dinner, or let me go do this. Let me go run some errands real quick. You still had time to do that. Now, these races are ending 7, 8 o'clock, and you're like, gotta go to bed soon.
And some corporate person can say, well, we don't want to interfere because, we're on the same network with college football. Oh, you know how that's BS? Because let's say Georgia comes on at 7:30. Give me, let's say Georgia playing Oregon at Georgia.
Yeah.
You can watch that because you know why? You know what else might be on? Let's say it was Conor McGregor versus Sean O'Malley for the 155 belt coming out at 10. You may miss some of the prelim.
But I'm going to watch that fight.
Most people who love sports like that, they can watch different things because you get more hype. Oh, you're like, it's a big weekend. You don't have to make every night race, but select races. Like, if they had like, would you want to watch a Pocono night race? No.
No.
To me,
that's a track that doesn't have lights either.
If you had the power, forget what the economic situation is of the city. If you had the power of NASCAR, say current tracks and other tracks, 5 night races on Saturday for the Cup Series, and it came to you, what would you say? These got to be the 5 night races.
Okay, well, you got to lock in Daytona and Bristol. Those are a lock.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna keep Atlanta, so that's 3. So you got 2 more. Was Richmond a Saturday night race?
It was a night race.
Is it still a Saturday night race?
Yeah, Austin Dillon won last year at
but
night.
Is it this year? Because they took a race away from Richmond.
I think they took the day race away.
Okay, so that's still a night race. I'd add some random track, like do a Dover night race. I don't even know if Dover has lights, but do a Dover night race.
I thought you were going to say Talladega night.
Well, I mean, we could. I knew that's where you were going.
Me and Watkins Glen, because one, a road course tonight. So all the Garage 56 to 24 hours.
You know what? I'm just going to take all that and scratch all that. Just give me back Auto Club, man. That was one of my favorite tracks. I love that track.
I mean, Auto Club. Honestly, I know why you got to stay in Michigan because that's what General Motors, Ford, and all that. All, but to me, I prefer Auto Club night. Just if you have more night races or back it up, it would just be
like look at all these other series. Like, for example, I know it's dirt racing, but dirt racing is mostly at night.
Would you rather watch a day dirt race or a night dirt race?
A night dirt race. You know what I did this past Saturday? I watched, because I have Flow right now currently, but I watched the High Limit series at Texas. You know how great it was? It was awesome. I mean, it was a in and out, like, I think it was less than 3-hour show.
Do you think people who go to clubs like to go to clubs when it's early and it's sunny? But take away all the international stuff overseas, like during the day, but in America, night or day? What do you think? Miami clubs are better in the day or the night?
At night,
You think
the clubs aren't even
Las
popping until
Vegas
10 o'clock.
Las Vegas in the day or Las Vegas in the night?
Night. Everything's better at night.
Let's say this. You think you and your wife, let's say you have no kid. The kid is up getting babysit. Oh man, we got to prep for this day race or the night race. Do you normally plan you and your wife to go get lunch or go out to eat in the day, or do you want to plan at night?
At night.
And what would you normally do at night? You like, oh, we're gonna dress up or go out.
Yeah.
That's what NASCAR needs. Like, who's controlling all the marketability? That time slots. Forget the time slots. If you claim you're the big dog,
and you have all this money and all this stuff, you're sitting there saying your excuses. Oh, the networks control that. No, they don't.
First of all,
did the networks tell you to take Easter off this year?
If you have all this money and all this power, how come you can't start your own net? I know you've seen some channels out there. Like, who came together to even start the channel? How did they even have the money to start the channel?
Mm-hmm.
There's a surfing channel that I like surfing, but
Kelly Slater.
They can come out and have a channel.
Yeah,
they can have a channel.
Wait, didn't they make a NASCAR channel? What happened to that?
It's on Tubi, which is owned by Fox.
I don't know anything about what's her name? Do they still do a live show on that?
I haven't seen it, but what's her name that I kind of like?
Shannon Spake.
Yeah. I haven't seen it on Tubi. I know Tubi's owned by Fox, but I don't even know what time it comes on.
Yeah.
You don't have what NASCAR's doing right now. Imagine you watch college football without College Game Day. You just know what time the game come on. Oh, Georgia playing. I don't care if you've seen some College Game Day or the college football shows were like, they said the same thing 5 hours ago. They don't even have that for NASCAR. You're going off what you know in your brain, what you can find on your phone, or what's going on last week.
Like, I'm just reminiscing. The Speed Channel, Trackside Live on a Friday night. I'd sit there and watch it with my dad. Sit there and
you didn't have to worry about what time it came on.
Kenny Wallace and Jimmy Spencer and whoever else was on there.
It just, you knew one central channel to go to. It's just like majority of the food in your house is in your refrigerator. Man, you had to go to like 15 different places just to get the food to bring it all together.
Like, in a couple of weeks, I mean, what do we got? 2-3 weeks? It's switching over to Amazon Prime for 5 races. And then it's going to TNT, and then it's going to NBC.
It's like, I know the NBA does that to where, like, right now, the NBA games are on TNT, like for the playoffs. And then,
but everybody knows that.
Yeah,
NBA's been on TNT forever.
And like, it in ESPN. But to me, when I see that, I almost would take Prime over Fox, because with Prime, I was just like, when you, let's say, You have
I'm about to
Amazon
ask a
Prime Video?
question. I'm about to ask a question.
Yeah.
So, and I haven't read anything or seen anything. Are there going to be commercials?
Well, that's what I was going to go into. Do you have Amazon Prime Video where like you and your
Yes.
Skylar can just watch it?
Yes.
Do you pay for? Did you go ad free? Or
Let
you
me
just
look.
like regular?
Let me look. Because I'm curious. I'm curious now. Let's see. Prime Video. I'll be honest. The only reason I got it so I can watch qualifying, because qualifying's on Prime now.
Yeah, I watch most of my TV shows on Amazon Prime because it has live TV.
Let's see. Prime subscriptions.
Some of the ads are like 2.5 minutes.
Oh no, I do not have, but I could easily add it for $2.99 a month.
See, right there, what you just said.
So, but
If
I'm
NASCAR,
curious it says watch movies and TV shows included with Prime without ads.
yeah, like I'm rewatching a show that I haven't watched in a couple of years, and it gives me the option. I have regular Prime Video, but if I want to go ad free, I can watch anything ad free. Honestly, let's say Fox left NASCAR and Amazon Prime was for the first half of the season. It should be on me because you have YouTube, I have YouTube. If it annoys us so much that we have commercials, let me pay the extra money to whoever it goes to go ad free. That way you get more money.
Yep.
And then it's up to the consumer if they want to have commercials. So let's say you were complaining, man, I can't stand Amazon Prime. I gotta watch these 2.5 minutes commercials. And I'm like, I pay for ad free. Why don't you?
You know what? I got it right here. Twitch. If you are, these streamers, if you are, I guess, subscribed to them, whatever, $5, whatever it is, $6, you don't get the ads because the streamers choose when their ads play, because they'll be like, hey, we're about to play 2-minute ads. So if you're not, subscribed or whatever, you're about to get ads. But if you are subscribed, he keeps going. So exactly. I mean, that's not that hard.
Just like when you,
if some gamers in a Twitch app can do that, I think Amazon can do that.
Exactly. Like when I listen to some of my podcasts, some of them I have on Patreon because Patreon is ad free,
right?
And if it's their choice, if they want to have ads or not, like you said, so forcing it down is because YouTube. I still have not gotten YouTube where I had 2 free trial before. But
I had it, but I got rid of it just because it was $20.
They do have live TV and TV shows on there, but if I'm not tired of commercials, people love options. Yep. If you what's a restaurant you like? Let's say fast food.
We'll just go Zaxby's.
If every time you went to Zaxby's they had Sprite and chicken tenders. No, you like Sprite and pickles. There's only 2 options. They won't make no money.
No.
Humans love choices. Give me the choice. Because if someone's complaining about commercials, that's on you, not on me. And they can't even blame NASCAR or that big network.
I'm also curious because you watched it. I didn't. The F1 Miami race was on ABC, right?
Well, I watched it on ESPN.
Oh, I know it was on ABC. Did they have commercials?
I didn't pay attention to ABC, but in the contract for F1, you can't go full commercial. You have to go side by side at minimum.
See, why can't?
Like, that's part of the F1 say, if you go for a commercial, we're not going to your network. And they do minimum commercials. They don't do NASCAR every 10 laps.
Dude, that NASCAR every 10 laps
by 75 seconds, and it's staying there.
The every 10 laps or 12 laps, whatever it is so stupid.
And they say, well, we're doing it for people going to use the restroom. No. No.
You don't do that for the people in the stands?
Nope. Yeah.
Well, I know we got off on a tangent there, so let's reel it back in. Texas. I know you said, what did you give it, a 9.5?
Yeah.
I'll agree with that. 9.5.
Score. Betting.
What do you think the best race was of the weekend?
It was a Cup Series. Because of that variation, and didn't really know.
Yeah.
You didn't know who's going to win. You can pick the team that's going to win the Xfinity Series. You kind of know the truck. If everything's working perfectly for that truck, who's going to win the Truck Series? And
yeah.
So that way, I don't really care that Kyle Larson won in '88. I mean, just a race. I don't really care. It didn't add anything to it.
To be fair, it was either going to be him or Justin Allgaier, and it should have been Justin Allgaier, but whatever.
I don't know if it should have been him because he's shown he has that Kyle Larson syndrome where I can be dominating the race, and you just like,
something stupid happens.
Yep, there we go. Whether it's his fault or it's not his fault.
Yeah,
but
I'm gonna say, I think the truck race was better than the Xfinity race.
I didn't watch a second of the truck race.
I did. I thought it was really good. I don't know. They were just racing hard Friday night. But any takeaways from the weekend? Any big surprises or hot takes?
Well, not a hot take. I think Penske is the best Cup team. I also believe that should be more cars on the track. I had some written down. I like the strategy. 2 tires. It was 2 tires versus 4 tires because as soon as those 4 tires evened out, and they were somewhat even with the 2 tires, it showed comers and goers. Like, oh, Ryan Blaney gonna do it. At one point, Ty Gibbs, he's going up there. Oh, Kyle Larson's coming back up there. It's like, yeah, because when they have to get more racy, things tend to happen more instead of just sitting there and single file line. It was just, it was something else I took away from the weekend. But after we get off this, I'll tell you because I knew it was coming this year. But it was the best in-car radio I've heard in a long time. And I felt the pain of the driver. But what I will say is, how many Gibbs drivers has won this year? 2, right?
2.
At the beginning of the year, William Byron. Christopher Bell. Kyle Larson. Who's another driver? Denny Hamlin. Who is the number one? Who's been the best driver this year? Can everyone definitively say one driver?
I mean, you can look numbers. I mean, we can just, I'm not going to go off point standings because we all know who's still in the lead, but like William Byron, I'm just throwing off numbers here. 1 win, 5 top 5s, 2 poles, 3 stage wins. But then you go to Kyle Larson, 2 wins, 7 top 5s, 0 poles, but 6 stage wins. Denny, 2 wins, 5 top 5s, 2 stage wins. And I don't know how this man is still in 4th in the points. Chase Elliott, 3 top 5s. No stage wins. You got Tyler Reddick, 3 top 5s. Christopher Bell, 3 wins. 6th in points, by the way. 3 wins, 5 top 5s. So if you were to go by numbers, if you just strictly went off numbers, you would say Kyle Larson. But
I would have him 3rd.
I'm going by numbers.
I would still say William Byron.
He has the most top 5s and he has the most stage wins.
I would still, well, to me, the fastest car of the season to me has been Ryan Blaney. But I will say William Byron, As far as the most consistent driver, to me, it's a toss up between Chase Elliott and Ricky Stenhouse. Just for wherever you finish, you're going to stay right there, consistent.
Yeah, Ricky Stenhouse is in the top 16 right now.
So, I mean, keep your nose clean, as they say, just stay consistent. Where's Bubba at?
Bubba is. He's 8th, so he's still in the top 10 in points. He's got 2 top 5s and 2 stage wins.
See, just staying consistent almost does you better versus winning one race. And another driver, to me, that I have making the final 8 for sure, is Josh Berry. It's just that something happens with the car because he's driving the wheels off the car. If it lets me know, when I saw Michael McDowell on 2 tires leading the Texas race with a chance to win, it wasn't a fluke, because if it was a fluke, they would have been past him on the start. He was getting a jump and forcing the Hendrick cars not to pass him on the high side. I think this is a toss up. We'll know the teams that are going to be championship potential the next 8 races. You can do all, was it 10 races so far?
11.
11. The first 11 races, that's fine. We need to see what you're doing from like races 12 to 21. That's in the heart of the season where people start to get tired, tempers start to flare more.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see what people are doing, because it's going to be a lot of boring tracks coming up in some of them. Now,
we got
real quick, what's going to throw a monkey wrench in all of this, which is going to help to me you were alluding to earlier, is the in-season tournament, because the money on the line. Let's say, do I just lag back or go for this $1 million?
Because you're gonna have guys, the lower, I won't even call them lower teams, but the guys that might not make the playoffs, they're gonna try to go for that money.
Or just man pride. Who are 2 drivers you say, you know what? What Ross Chastain said, he said he was hoping all his might that Michael McDowell, quote, beat that guy. What if it's Ross Chastain and Joey Logano for the $1 million? They were like, nah, I'm not letting you win this.
Yeah, exactly.
And okay, can you tell me what plate races are in an in-season tournament in the middle of the season? If the month of June.
Atlanta. I think it starts at Atlanta.
Is Daytona in there too? Oh no, they pushed it after that. So Atlanta, you're not going to be saving fuel.
Well, they don't save fuel there anyways.
What's a track that is normally born? It will be born without the in-season tournament. One of those tracks.
Let me see who's the tracks. So what is it? 5 races or 6?
Let's say 6. The whole month of June.
So you got. Well, I think it's the whole month of July, because Atlanta's the first race.
Okay, for July.
So it's Atlanta, Chicago street race, Sonoma, Dover, Indy, and then Iowa.
You can't just lab at and get this. People gonna get mad. Why are you doing this? It's gonna be, look, imagine a final restart, and it's Ty Dillon in the final against Kyle Larson. You think he's just gonna stay back in 15? No.
I'm gonna have to argue your statement of some pretty boring races coming up. You got Kansas, and then we had the All-Star at North Wilkesboro. That's probably gonna be boring. And then we got the Coke 600, Nashville, Michigan, Mexico, Pocono, then Atlanta, the in-season tournament. And then after Iowa, you get Watkins Glen, Richmond, Daytona.
It's 3 tracks that are probably. I had New Hampshire in my head for some reason. They're probably going to be boring as far as like how they race. I think the Michigan race, maybe a Michigan race can be boring and it can be the best race you've seen in between. Michigan can be like that. Richmond can be boring. Honestly, what's the most memorable moment the 2 memorable moments I remember of Richmond the last 20 years is Dale Sr. getting turned into the wall and Austin Dillon, quote
or Kyle Busch wrecking Dale Jr.
Yeah, that's when I brought up, or the Jeff Gordon scenario. That's the only thing I remember. Do you remember any middle stages of Richmond?
No.
I don't. I mean, it's a nice track so that can be boring, but it's a lot of wild cards in there.
Speaking of, I know going back, I know we keep getting off track, but going back to our, Saturday night races, the Nashville race is a 7:00 Sunday night race.
If you're 13, go back to when you're 13 or 14. What time is your bedtime?
It was around when I was
On
growing
Sunday.
up. It was lights out 9:00 because I had school the next day. Well,
Could
actually, I'd be in summer. I'd probably be in summer school, but it'd be
Did
the
you
summer.
keep the TV
So
on growing up when you started becoming a teenager?
yeah, I did.
And you just had to keep it low.
That and my dad, because this is an old school TV. I'm sure you can still do it on these, but he'd go in somehow and set an automatic timer so at like midnight it would cut off.
Yeah, they sort of my TVs had that run up, but then you can figure out a way to get the controller to stop doing that.
Yeah, because he'd put a password on it or you couldn't get into it. I'm like,
7:00 on a Sunday?
that's odd.
First of all, that was a track. Let's say it was Martinsville. Are you gonna watch every lap?
No.
What time do you normally on Sunday? Perfect world. What time do you want to lay in bed? You don't have to be asleep, but lay in bed.
I try to get in the bed. I mean, kind of right now, 9:00.
9:00 because the only sport. What's the only sport where you say I'm staying up the whole night? I'm staying up till this thing is over. What's the only situation? Not situation, but sport where you say, okay, I'll stay up. I'll stay up a little later.
College football championship.
Or it can be a regular season game with Georgia if it's a big team. Alabama, Georgia, undefeated. I'm gonna cut the TV off at halftime and get in bed.
Most of the time, majority of the time, that's a Saturday night.
Yeah, I thought you were about to say it. Most of the time, Georgia beats Alabama. I would say, nah, that ain't the case. You won.
All right.
2. But with the Georgia thing, I guess I got to give it to you this weekend. I gave you one. You won. What's the score now? 7-4.
Yeah, 7-4.
And so you get who did you choose and who did I choose?
You chose Chad Fincham and I chose Carson Hocevar.
So you get first pick for Kansas.
Yeah, I am, and I know what your plan is, and I know I'm probably falling for it, but I got to make up some ground. So it's Kansas. We all know what manufacturer dominates there, so I'm going Tyler Reddick.
And I'm going Denny Hamlin.
Wow. Okay. I did not expect that, but
no, my other plan I was going to go for was 2 of them, Joe Logano or have I chosen Michael McDowell yet?
No. Yes, you did. You chose him at Bristol.
Okay, it was going to be someone Inspired Motorsports or Joe Logano, but since you said Tyler Reddick, when you made me change my pick when you said we know who dominates. I said, okay, you going Tyler Reddick? I'm going to go Denny Hamlin.
Okay, that should be interesting.
Exactly.
But I will say I went over the schedule because I know we're going to reset at the end of the playoffs. I don't really, unless he pulls out a win at a road course, I don't really see Tyler Reddick winning anywhere else.
I see some chances for him to win.
It'd either be this or like Nashville or.
I'll see him win in Michigan. It's you got to pull some strategy off, but I mean, at this point in stage, I mean, most of the races coming up isn't. This is Hendrick Motorsports.
No, it's not.
Anyway,
no.
So we'll see.
And before we head out, any of y'all listening, 3 weeks we'll be at Charlotte. We're locked in. We're not going for the Ruffle.
I would never buy a race.
You couldn't give me a ticket to that race.
Yes, you could. If you got pit road assistant crew chief to Kyle Busch, you go.
That'd probably be the only way.
Or they call it a spot.
I would not just go willingly to go spend 4 hours up there to watch the Roval. Nah, forget that.
Imagine we were going to the Rover. Said, "Well, I could have went to the Coast 600, but did you really go to Charlotte?" No, I went to the NFL road course. It was crazy. The New Hampshire road course is more entertaining than the Charlotte.
And see,
road
I didn't
course.
even know New Hampshire had a road course.
I think the variations of the track. I would rather watch modifieds race and the road course in New Hampshire versus Charlotte. But let's see who wins. Denny Hamlin versus Tyler Reddick. That's all I got.
All right. Well, y'all know what to do. Like, subscribe, share it. Y'all got to share it.
50 subscribers
50
and Blake
subscribers
Hester
is the
will
goal.
buy you a new Yeti.
A new Yeti. Now you gotta specify what kind of Yeti.
The most expensive Yeti
No,
there is. I talked to your wife. She said,
"Yep." She didn't sign off on that.
Yep.
Because she gonna get mad and be like, "Why is that not for me?"
Her favorite Yeti is gonna be up for grabs.
Maybe a Yeti cup, not a Yeti cooler.
Oh no, we're doing a $500 Yeti cooler.
Yeah, y'all better start subscribing.
All right,
but yeah, get us to 50 subscribers. We're trying to go live on this thing. Our next show is going to be Friday night. We're going to do a late night show. Hey, maybe y'all can get us to 50 subscribers before then. Y'all can come hang out. We're kind of close.
Yep, let's go.
All right, later.